This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Regina League.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Good Neighbor Podcast. I am here in Charlotte, and what I love to do is talk with local business owners and let them share their story. And I'm really excited today to speak with Michelle Tonkin. She is a naturopathic doctor, and she and her sister are the owners of Healthy Solutions for All here in Charlotte. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you so much for having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I had never heard of a naturopathic doctor. So tell us what you do.
Well, I do a variety of things. So as a naturopath, we specialize in diet and nutrition, as well as herbs, detoxification, lifestyle. Basically, we look at the body and the person as a whole. So it's body, mind, soul, and spirit. We try to get to the root cause of some issues that people are dealing with. And really, it's just a whole approach of looking at the person and just kind of going from there from what they need.
Well, we all can benefit from that. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I was on your website, and you and your twin sister are identical. I love it. You've gone to the same school. So you guys are partners in this amazing business. Tell us your journey and why and how you got into this.
Yeah, so I think it started in the late 90s. My sister and I started having neurological issues, and we started having allergies and things that we weren't previously allergic to, like almost autoimmune type stuff. We were previously both very healthy, going to college, full time. And it kind of seemed like it kind of hit both of us around the same time. Like we were fine one day and weren't fine the next. But that led us on a journey to going to about 30 different doctors in the area at the time. And in the late 90s, they didn't really know about Lyme disease back then. So there were a lot of labels that were kind of thrown at us, like, you just need to go on a date and you'll be all fine, just go out with a boy and that'll clear all your troubles. Or are you on drugs, or, all these, crazy things. And basically at the end of it all, there were no really any solutions. So we ended up going to a naturopathic doctor. And at the time, the person we saw was actually operating out of their garage. So if you can imagine coming up in the late 90s to someone's garage, and he walks out, he looks like Dr. Brown from Back to the Future. And you're like, what is this? So that was an introduction into natural medicine. I mean, I had no clue what a parasite was. I thought I was eating a healthy diet, which, probably wasn't the best what I was doing at the time. But it really led us on a journey, especially me personally, of taking control of my health and realizing that this was something that I need to do, not just for myself, but also for other people. And so through that journey, really been led to help many, many people over the years, and also my health. So it's been a journey for me personally and Melissa. And what I've learned is just everything we go through has a purpose. And so my purpose here, I believe, on this earth is to help other people achieve wellness in their life, body, mind, soul, and spirit.
Well, tell us about your education and training for this.
So we did Trinity School of Natural Health. And at the time it was, so now a lot of schools are doing like Canvas and online and all that kind of stuff. But back then it was kind of almost like they sent you the work and then you sent back the work to them. So it was kind of like the pre-online days. I remember I'd be listening to like tapes, like you need to put in the old recorder tapes, you press the play.
Yeah.
You find the button.
You must be from the same generation.
Yeah, I'd be like, okay, this is a little antiquated, but it was really a good, I would say there was probably at least 30 or 40 courses for the naturopathic doctorate degree that I did. So it was entailing everything from anatomy to biology and chemistry. They approach everything: diet, nutrition, herbs, I also got degrees in iridology from them, nutrition. What else did I get from them as naturopath? Like basically all the degrees that they had. So because they all built on each other, and so I had like 5 or 6 things from them. But yeah, it was just a process of learning and getting all that information that I could, and I'm always learning now. I'm always learning new things now as I progress. There's always more information to learn, new
Right.
technologies, new supplements. So being able to weed through all of that and be like, that supplement looks good, and you look at it and you're like, oh, that's just a bunch of hype, and just
Mhm.
help, myself, other people kind of weed through all that. 'Cause there's so much information. It's like ridiculous.
Well, I think we're all so much more aware these days.
Yeah.
This is definitely so. Talk to us about the process. If someone calls you, how do you get to know what's going on, and then how do you approach treating them?
Yeah. So I send them like a consultation form to fill out, which is pretty, I don't want to say too extensive, but it goes into their case history, symptoms, kind of what they're taking now, diet, nutrition, lifestyle, stress. And then we set a time to talk. Um, I also have a free 10-minute consult as well available for people, like a discovery type call, if they want to just see if we're a good fit. And after that, it's 30 minutes. And we really talk about, kind of what they've experienced in the past and what's going on now. And we kind of go through, I said case history, diet, symptoms, lifestyle, and I give suggestions to them. And then from there, they can schedule another time to talk, or, they can go and look at all the things I've suggested, like supplement, things like that, and see if that's going to work for them. So it really is individualized and customized to the person for what they're needing, what they're wanting. And I also have a home office too, where people can actually come see me if they want to talk to me in person, or if they want to get some therapies that I have here.
So, how do you know if you're a candidate for this type of treatment, naturopathic?
I think anybody's a candidate. If you're living and breathing, you're a candidate. Our world is just, it's not a pristine environment. So we're all exposed to a variety of things on a daily basis. So even if you are in what you consider good health, we always want to be in that prevention mode, preventing disease process. And especially with, COVID and, viral conditions and all these things, those things you can do to help your immunity and, reduce exposure and all that kind of stuff. So I would highly recommend coming to someone like me, or someone in the same field that could really help you to not only improve your health, but also to kind of, help maybe mitigate problems that could potentially be there in the future that you may not be aware of yet.
Well, what are some of the most common conditions, feelings that people have that come to you looking for some help?
So I would say a lot of people with autoimmune, just because of my own personal journey, and I feel like I can relate to them in that way. So a lot of autoimmune, Lyme disease, people with chronic conditions. I do see a lot of people when they're kind of like, on their last stop, basically, and they're kind of like, okay, we'll try everything else. But I've also seen ages like 3 to like, late 80s, 90s. So yeah, I mean, there's no age range. So it's just basically, whatever you have going on, we work together. Doesn't matter if it's chronic or not. I have some people who just have some digestive issues, and they're just, getting bloated all the time, or having a hard time with allergies or whatnot, and they need help. And so they might come to me, a couple times, and, they're good. So, I mean, just depends where you're at. Mm-hmm.
How about fatigue?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we've dealt with chronic fatigue syndrome, and trying to figure out, again, it's not just about symptoms, but actually, what's kind of going on beneath the surface. What's the root cause of your fatigue? Is it stress? Is it diet? Is it nutrition? Is it viral, bacterial? Is it parasitical? Is it everything combined? Is it emotional? There's things that we, typically Western medicine doesn't really go to that. But as a naturopath, we're taught to look at the whole body as a whole because everything affects everything. And so when you put it all to the pieces together, you really get a better picture of kind of what's going on in the person.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume there are a lot of misconceptions in your industry. Like I'm just thinking, oh, this is going to take a long time, for me to start feeling better. So what are those misconceptions you run up against?
I think I'll just serve my personal experience. When I first started in natural medicine, to experience, like I mentioned, the doctor that came out of his garage, my experience was that anybody who did natural medicine was kind of, tree huggers and, everyone's kind of out there in woo-woo land. And there are there are extremes. I will say there are extremes in this. But nowadays, there's a lot more science there. And people are looking to help because you're not getting the root problem solved a lot of times. You're just seeing Band-Aids for what's going on in their life. And so the misconception I see is that, natural medicine is kind of out there and, it's kind of like a last resort, but, there's nothing science about it. And I would say that's not true. Before Western medicine even came on the scene, natural medicine was what was primarily used, herbs and all that kinds of diet. And so I believe it all has its place. I still definitely believe in Western medicine has its place in the world. But I think there needs to be more of an integrative approach in it all. And there's definitely science now to back up, the diet, nutrition, herbs, and lifestyle changes. And we're all hearing it more and more. So there's a lot more science there now, for sure.
Well, your website's amazing, and you have just a wonderful list of supplements and things. Talk to us a little bit about all of that, what you offer.
Yeah, so we offer, I think, tons and tons of brands. Anything you can think of, enzymes, probiotics, digestive things, nutritional things, immune stuff, stuff for all ages, basically. It's supplements for whatever you need, where you're at. And so you can go on the site, healthysolutionsforall.com. You can go check on a condition. It'll give you recommendations. You can type in, if you know a certain brand, you can look at and try to find if, it's easy to find in the search part, whatever you need. And we can always add something if you need it, but you can just go on there, order. Our prices are pretty competitive. And then also there's free shipping on all orders, $50 and over. We have coupons. As I mentioned, you can do a free 10-minute consult with me. There's articles in there I've written. There's videos. That's all free. I'm just trying to educate people. And so, check it out. And, it's all there. It's also the supplements are also all pharmaceutical grade. I try to get the best stuff I can for people. And so most of the stuff you're not going to find at your typical GNC or, health food store.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share some examples of maybe an aha moment that some of your patients have had after working with you?
So I've had a variety of, like I said, I treat all ages. I do remember, so this is a person that, and this is actually used with a machine I have called the Onimed Biofeedback. So this is a machine that's from Germany, and I've had it for a number of years. But it actually uses what's called PEMF technology, which is pulse electromagnetic frequencies and sound waves. And so what the machine does is it's called biofeedback because I'm using the patient's pulse to determine what frequencies to use. And so this client came to me with a UTI that was pretty severe, and that they were basically crawling through my office door in such pain. And so with the machines, so it's, and I'll go a little bit more on how, how the frequencies kind of work, but I was using the pulse to dial in, and the machine kind of showed me that it was a type of bacteria that was affecting him. So I put that into the machine, treated the client, and I would say by the end of the session, he was walking out the door. So it actually went after the bacteria that was causing the UTI. So I think the aha moment for them was that it works. So frequency medicine's been around for a long time, since probably the 1920s or before. And it started with Rife machines. He was, I think his name was Royal Rife. He did a lot of experimentation, and he would see how a frequency would affect like cancer cells or bacteria and virus. And I've actually seen, under a microscope, I did this before to test it and make sure that, these things are true, like the frequencies medicine years ago before I even got Onimed. And I actually had a sample of my blood taken and looked under a microscope and could see the streptococci bacteria there. And then I treated myself with a Rife type machine, and the bacteria was completely exploded after. Like I took a sample after, like it had totally like destroyed it. So in frequency medicine, everything vibrates at a certain frequency. So an example would be like an opera singer that sings and they shatter the glass. So if you think of that with like a microorganism, if you get the specific frequency for that, you're able to actually go in there and help the body eliminate that. And so that's kind of one of the things that Onimed does, besides helping the body to heal at the cell level with, regeneration and healing and all that. So I've seen a lot of clients do really well, especially people with, autoimmune conditions and all sorts of that. So that's a therapy too. If you look on the website called Onimed Biofeedback, and that's those sessions start about the first one usually is an hour and a half, and then after that's about an hour per session. But yeah, so that's a great tool too that I have here as well.
Mm-hmm. This is fascinating stuff. I could talk to you all day. Well, it's really, really cool, and I recommend everyone go to your website. Share again how to find you online and how to reach out to you guys.
Yeah, sure. So the website is healthysolutionsforall.com. And we also have a number, 1-877-955-HEAL. And you can go on there and you can call me, and we'll get you scheduled either for a consult or to come see me in person. And I'd love to meet you, love to talk with you and see how I can help.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time, Michelle. Very, very interesting stuff you're working on and doing.
Thank you, Regina. I appreciate the time.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpsouthcharlotte.com. That's gnpsouthcharlotte.com, or call 980-351-5719.